All right, y'all. So the people who showed up outside Mar-A-Lago after the FBI raid to support Trump, they did some interviews with CNN, and this is the first time I'm watching this here, so we're gonna soak it all in together. The headline in Mediaite is CNN interviews Trump diehards outside Mar-a-Lago after raid who insist he's innocent. Quote, he's never lied about anything. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's dive into it.
Almost everyone we spoke with is very angry about the fact that the FBI came here to Mar-a-Lago just yesterday. They believe, they didn't say what the basis for this was, but they believe that Donald Trump has been cooperating with the Department of Justice, which is investigating the handling of presidential records and presidential documents. They don't think that it was a good idea for the FBI to come to Mar-a-Lago, especially when the former president wasn't even home. Here's what else some of his supporters told me.
They don't want the truth. That's the bottom line. They don't want the truth.
You don't think that's why they came here to Mar-a-Lago, to try and find out the truth and recover the archives?
No, they are scared to death of Donald Trump.
It's just a show. This is like maybe impeachment number 4 here for Trump. That's all it is. That's what I think. I mean, they didn't get it the first time. The Russians.
I mean, if you're so convinced that he didn't do anything though, and he's gonna get away with it, then like, why waste the time to get off the couch and go protest for him? You know what I'm saying? Like, when I watched Fox News the night of the raid, it seemed like they were all melting down because deep down they all knew, like, oh, fuck, he's in trouble. But this guy's like, this is nothing, bro. This is no big deal. They try to get him all the time. Look, to be fair, it is true. There's been a number of things that tried to take him down, and it didn't work. And I called out the Russiagate thing from the beginning. It smelled like bullshit to me. But as I told you guys a million times, his run-of-the-mill financial crimes, which are being investigated in New York, those are different. Those are real. The January 6th stuff, there's definitely, at the very least, moral and ethical culpability that Trump has for that. The legal bar is a lot higher. I don't know whether they'll hit that legal bar, but in terms of finding crimes surrounding that, I mean, that's real. You know, if this raid is really just about, classified material or whatever, even that is something real that there might be some consequences for. So anyway.
They didn't get the second time, right, with Ukraine. They didn't get it the third time.
Well, they did impeach him through the House. It got through the House. It died in the Senate because they were never going to get the numbers they needed in the Senate, which is why, by the way, it was a little bit of a waste of time. But he is impeached through the House twice, right? So that is something, but it didn't, take him out of office.
With January 6th, I think they know they're running out of time there. They raid a home, and CNN cameras are there, and some of his past people. They know what's going on. It's all for a show, to make Trump so he cannot run again.
You don't think that there was a real reason to come here? You think it's just a show?
It's not even think. I know there's no real reason.
Whoa.
I know it in my heart. I know it in my spirit. He has never lied about anything.
Oh, my God. Look, when somebody says, like, I know it in my heart, I know it in my spirit, he's never lied about anything. I mean, she's letting you know this is like a religious axiom to me. This is an axiomatic truth. So, in other words, it's like a fundamentalist claim where you don't allow in empirical evidence or data or facts. And I mean, it's one thing to say, look, I think he's telling the truth now, which I still think is silly, but it's a whole other thing to say he's never lied ever? Like, what are you talking about? First of all politicians lie, even the ones you like the most, right? Second of all, homeboy has, like, maybe the longest list of any politician ever. I mean, what was it? Like, Washington Post or somebody did a statistical breakdown of, like, all the lies he had told since he'd been in office, and this was only, like, halfway through his time in office. And it was like 32,000 lies or something to that effect. I'm not recalling the exact number, but post that in the comment section if you guys remember. And look, to be fair to Trump, I do not trust the Washington Post to just take what they say at face value. But even if you cut that number in half, right? It's like, what, 15 or 16,000 lies told in just the first few years of your administration, and she thinks you never lied? Okay, my favorite Trump lie of all time, I've told this story before, but bear with me because it makes me laugh every time. My favorite Trump lie ever is when he was running for president. This was in 2016, before he won. there was somebody who used to work for one of those, like, stupid entertainment magazines, and these magazines used to cover Trump all the time. And in the 1990s, they spoke to somebody who said, "Oh, my name is John Barron, and I'm Trump's publicist. And I just want to tell you that all these beautiful celebrity women can't keep their hands off of Trump. They love Trump. They all want to date Trump." And this person recorded the phone call. And the reason I think she recorded is because she thought, this sounds like Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump is pretending to be his own publicist named John Barron to suck himself off in the magazine to get, public relations that makes him look like a desirable playboy or whatever the fuck. And then this woman released the video of that, the audio of that phone call where Trump is pretending to be his own publicist to say how sexy and hot he is and how all the women want him. She released it in 2016. Everybody heard it. It obviously was Trump. And Trump goes out there and says, "That's not me." He's pathological with his lies. It's just, look, these are the people, we talk about it all the time, guys. These are the TFGs. These are the too far gones. These are the people that no amount of argument or debate or sound reasoning, nobody's going to talk them off the ledge. They're all in. But the good news I have for you is that number has dwindled massively. And if it's like 30% of the country, then that's a huge number. That's a terrifying number. But I'm sure it's like 30% or more of the country that believe that the Adam and Eve story is literally true. So, like, what do you expect? So it's like, okay, it's as good as it's going to get. Maybe if you're lucky, you can get it, get it down to 20%, chisel it down all the way to 20%. But you're always going to be in about that ballpark, right? So the good news is everybody else has abandoned him. But these people are more gung-ho than ever.
The supporters were saying to me that the FBI and the Department of Justice are corrupt. I was quick to point out to them that it was Donald Trump who appointed Christopher Wray as director of the FBI, but they continued to say that he was corrupt. We also talked about Hillary Clinton's emails. I reminded them that it was Donald Trump who called for an investigation into her classified emails, but the irony was lost on them. They continued to say that he didn't do anything wrong, and she did.
Oh, man. Look, on the one hand, it's based that now all the Republicans are like, yeah, defund the FBI or abolish the FBI, get rid of the FBI. But it's hilarious how hypocritical and self-serving and partisan it is. It's hilarious how their whole thing about being anti-establishment and holding politicians accountable, it's out the window the second the FBI does one of the only good things they've ever done. And I don't buy this argument, too, of like, well, the left are hypocrites if they're now saying it's good that the FBI is investigating Donald Trump. Nonsense! Plenty people on the left called to defund the police. But when Harvey Weinstein was arrested by the police, they weren't like, well, I'm anti-cop, so this is bad. You shouldn't arrest Harvey Weinstein. Well, I mean, what kind of fucking pea-brain bullshit is this? Obviously, it's a case-by-case basis when you talk about law enforcement, when you talk about the cops or the FBI or whatever. Yeah, like the FBI also this week reportedly stormed some like black socialist headquarters over the idea that we think they're being influenced by Russia. Yes, that is an FBI raid I 100% condemn. What I do not condemn is when they're going after former President Trump, who committed about 87 crimes and live tweeted them. Okay? So, oh man, people are so dumb. Ugh. So anyway, there you have it. Trump's people falling in line. Hilarious.